Fire destroys makeshift house. One of the occupants believed the fire was set deliberately. Male nurse busted with revolver during routine police stop. Couple busted with marijuana in BERBICE. In the region, Bolivia on the verge of political, social turmoil, and internationally, COVID response, one of UK's worst ever public health failures. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. A fire of unknown origin destroyed a makeshift residence near Camp and Charlotte Street in Georgetown last evening, displacing several persons. The fire started sometime around 9 p.m. When the fire service came on the scene, the structure was engulfed in flames. However, firefighters were able to contain the blaze from spreading to nearby buildings. One of the occupants, identified as Ashanti, told reporters that she believed the fire was an act of arson. She explained that she was at her shop at the front of the building when she saw the suspect enter his house and removed all his valuables. Shortly after the suspect left, people ran out and shouted fire. Minister of Home Affairs Reuben Ben, who was at the scene, expressed his satisfaction with the response of the Ghana Fire Service. The Ghana Fire Service just recently came under fire from President Irfan Ali as he expressed his disappointment with the service's response to the fire that destroyed over 80% of the breakdown police headquarters, despite the government's continuous effort to provide the service with the required tools for an efficient operation. Yesterday, in observance of its 64th anniversary, the Ghana Fire Service revisited the site of the breakdown police station where firefighters were inspected by Minister Ben, Chief Fire Officer Acting Gregory Wickham, and other senior officials attached to the Ghana Fire Service. During the brief remarks, Minister Ben reiterated the need for better training and confidence in the service. He highlighted that the government will continue to support the Ghana Fire Service by providing them with the necessary equipment and resources needed to carry out their mandate. He also made mention of the great problems of arson which has been on the rise recently, destroying several public buildings and houses, noting that perpetrators will face the full brunt of the law. A male nurse is in police custody after he attempted to flee during a routine stop. Dale Jarvis has more.
A 24-year-old male nurse is in police custody after being stopped by officers on Wolford Avenue last evening but attempted to escape with an unlicensed revolver. Around 7:30 p.m., police ranks on motorcycle patrol were on Wolford Avenue proceeding east when a male driving a gold and black XR motorcycle was stopped and questioned. The man suddenly dismounted the motorcycle, ran, and jumped into the nearby trench. The police followed in pursuit and the man was subsequently apprehended. A search of the area where he had jumped discovered a silver .32 revolver with the serial number being filed off. He was told of the offense committed and cautioned, where he remained silent. He was arrested and taken to the Alberton police station. The firearm was marked, sealed and lodged along with the motorcycle. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. The Prime Minister of Ghana, retired Brigadier Mark Phillips, informed Guyanese residing in New York that the country's fast-rising economy provides unlimited economic prospects. The Prime Minister made these remarks at the Doing Business in Ghana conference presented by the Guyanese American chapter of Commerce, which was held at the Grace Christian Church in Brooklyn, New York. Mr. Phillips stated that Guyana is more than just oil and gas, encouraging investments in agriculture, tourism, health, and information and communications technology. Quote, "We are ensuring that other areas of economy are given support and attract investment. We will continue to work to unlock new markets for our traditional exports, including rice, sugar, bauxite, and timber. At the same time, we will seek opportunities for new and non-traditional products, services, and industries." End of quote. President of the GACC, Mr. Wesley Curtin, stated that the Doing Business in Ghana conference was designed to facilitate direct engagement between the government of Ghana and potential investors in the United States. He went on to say that in some cases, inaccurate information regarding the country's investment climate was circulated. He noted, by attending the conference with such high-ranking delegations, the government has shown its intention to rectify any misconceptions and also inspire confidence and demonstrate its commitment to the Guyanese diaspora. Don't go away after the break. An 8-year-old hospitalized after being hit by a vehicle on the Amelia's Ward public road, and a couple was busted with marijuana in BERBICE.
good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness, or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket.
Welcome back. On Tuesday night, police ranks acting on information received went to Betsy Ground, East Country, Berbice, and arrested a couple after they were found with cannabis sativa in their possession. Reports said that police went to the home of a 25-year-old male and a 19-year-old female at Betsy Ground, where a search was conducted in their presence. During the search of their bedroom, the police found a black, bulky plastic bag hanging from a nail that contained several leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis. As a result, both suspects were told of the offense committed, cautioned, arrested, and taken to the Central Police Station, along with the suspected cannabis. The narcotics was weighed in their presence and amounted to 178 grams. The couple remains in custody pending charges. After being hit by a vehicle on the Amelia's Ward Public Road, an 8-year-old child is now in the Georgetown Public Hospital in need of your help. Esther Sobers has more on that story.
An 8-year-old child is now hospitalized after being hit by a vehicle on Amelia's Ward Public Road yesterday. According to reports, about 9:15 a.m., 30-year-old Audrey Ethany of Victoria Valley, Wismar-Linden, was driving west on a public road at a regular pace when his left side rearview mirror collided with a pedestrian who was running from the northern to the southern side of the road. As a result, the child fell, receiving injuries to his body. He was picked up in an unconscious state by the driver and taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where he was treated for head injuries. He was subsequently transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital. The driver of the motor car is presently in police custody assisting with investigations. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Tanisha Thomas, the mother of the 8-year-old, is seeking your help for the child to undergo a CT scan that will cost $96,000, which she cannot afford. While the Ministry of Health is offering to pay half the expenses, the unemployed single mother of 7 says she still cannot afford the other half. Anyone wishing to help the single mother, Tanisha Thomas, can make contact with her on telephone numbers 654-3816. Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Bolivia is on the verge of political social turmoil, and Chile declares a state of emergency over Mapuche conflict. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day is every Wednesday, and you can get 7% off everything on sale except alcoholic drinks. And to make more of our customers eligible, we have dropped the age requirement from 60 to 55, so you can benefit from the big discounts on everything in your trolley. Yes, Survival Supermarket Senior Citizens Day gives you 7% off every Wednesday, if you're 55 and older, of course. Just walk with your ID card as proof of your age, and then shop, shop, shop at Survival Supermarket.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Chile's President Sebastián Piñera has imposed a state of emergency over Mapuche conflict. The Mapuche, Chile's largest indigenous group, has been involved in 5 centuries of struggle for their ancestral land. Mapuche demands have been mainly met with silence, leading some armed groups to attack trucks and farmlands in the last 10 years. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
For Chile's government, this video posted on social networks by an indigenous Mapuche rebel group was the last straw.
We warn that whatever happens will be the sole responsibility of the Forestry Institute and the government.
President Sebastián Piñera said he'd had no choice but to declare a state of emergency in south-central Chile.
Because of the grave and reiterated acts of violence linked to drug traffickers, terrorists, and organized crime committed by armed groups in the Biobío and Araucanía region, these violence events have not only taken innocent lives, which is the most painful, they have burned houses, churches, industrial, agricultural, and commercial installations, and a great deal of public infrastructure.
For Chile's largest indigenous group, the Mapuches, this is the latest chapter in a 500-year conflict for control of their ancestral land. In the late 1800s, the Chilean state took away most of it and gave it to Chilean and European farmers, plunging the Mapuches into poverty until this day. Now, younger, more radical Mapuches are taking up arms to expel forestry companies and large landowners. Highways are no longer safe. Countless agricultural equipment has been destroyed, while Mapuche communities take over land. A Chilean farmer was the latest to die last week after his house was set ablaze by an armed group. Conservatives applauded the state of emergency, saying it was long overdue.
The situation in south-central Chile couldn't wait a minute more. There are thousands of people who can't sleep at night because the state has abandoned them, because it doesn't have the operational capacity to guarantee their safety.
But government opponents say dialogue is the only solution.
Violence is the last resort of the incompetent, and when a government responds with violence to a political problem, we know the result, the same one we've been seeing for years.
The president is allowed to impose a state of emergency for 15 days with the option of extending it for another 15 days without Congress's approval. It will allow the army to provide transportation, communications, and logistical support to the militarized police that's already there, as well as patrol with them. While many are demanding the restoration of law and order in what they see as a lawless region, others fear that sending in soldiers will in fact escalate the armed conflict even further. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Santiago.
Tens of thousands of government supporters have been rallying in some of Bolivia's largest cities. It follows days of anti-government protests against a proposed law that would give authorities the means to investigate citizens' assets without court order. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schumiller reports.
It was a show of strength for the socialist government, a direct response to anti-government protests across Bolivia on Monday. President Luis Arce addressed crowds in Bolivia's 3 main cities, Cochabamba, Santa Cruz and La Paz.
If they don't respect the election results, if they don't respect democracy, if they don't respect the popular vote, then we'll make sure they respect us in the streets.
He's promoting a law designed to tackle illicit earnings that he says will help the fight against drug traffickers and money laundering. The lower house of Congress passed it last month. However, the government has put off pushing it through Bolivia's upper house.
The women are here to fight. We won't rest. We'll defend our country, more united than ever.
We're here to defend democracy and for the unity of the Bolivian people. We reject separatism and division and those who don't represent our country.
Opponents say the law will give the authorities unprecedented powers and is a step towards a totalitarian state. They include business owners and small traders, but also some trade unions and indigenous groups in a country divided.
We are against this law because it means we will be inspected. They will inspect what we sell every day and also the assets we have obtained, our houses, our cars and years of earnings. So we don't agree.
They have threatened to resume their protests if the government does not scrap the law in the next 3 days. The challenge is clear. Both sides have said they will not back down.
When they take to the streets, unfortunately, it means the institutional spaces have shrunk. This is not a good sign. Both the government and the opposition are showing their force, while the law they're fighting over has been put on hold.
With the divisions in Bolivian society again visible on the streets, a return to the social and political turmoil that's plagued the country throughout much of its history now seems inevitable. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera.
And internationally, the UK government's delay in imposing a lockdown at the start of the pandemic is one of the country's worst ever public health failures. That is the conclusion of a newly released parliamentary report, Al Jazeera's Jonah Hall reports.
MPs from across the political spectrum have delivered a damning verdict on the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the words of a parliamentary report, it was one of the worst public health failures in UK history. It left vulnerable groups exposed and led to one of the worst outcomes among developed world economies.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Boris Johnson's delay in ordering the first lockdown in March 2020, the report says, cost many lives. It was part of a deliberate policy based on scientific advice aimed at achieving herd immunity, something the government has always denied. And a so-called groupthink among ministers and government scientists, the report says, led to a failure to learn lessons from what other countries were doing.
We took too long to make that decision. I think everyone recognises that now. We should have been able to avoid a lockdown altogether if we'd followed the model taken in Taiwan or South Korea with a much expanded test and trace programme right from the outset. We could have avoided locking down in that first year as those countries did. So that is a big lesson.
Despite being one of the first countries to develop a test for COVID-19 in January 2020, the report says the UK squandered that lead, turning it into a situation of permanent crisis when mass testing was halted in March. By the time a test, trace and isolate system did come along in the summer, it was, say MPs, slow, uncertain, often chaotic. There are moments of praise for the vaccine rollout and the development of life-saving treatments, both involving scientists from Oxford University. But that does not exonerate the government or its advisers for a litany of criticisms set out in what is an almost universally scathing report. Lobby Akinola lost his dad Femi to COVID-19 in April last year. He wants an apology.
This moment here isn't about politics, it's not about saving face. It's about understanding the pain that people are going through and doing what we can to ameliorate that and then prevent it from happening again. And I think you can convey all of that in two simple words of I'm sorry. So the decision to not do that, I think, sends a different and unfortunate message quite loudly.
The National COVID Memorial Wall opposite Parliament bears vivid testimony to the pandemic, and Parliament has now laid bare the extent of government responsibility for those losses. A public inquiry is due in 2022. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.